Welcome back. I'm Mr. R, and this is the Rondinelli Project. A question to ponder: do the phases of the moon really affect the behaviors of crappies? Some biologists agree that there is a direct correlation between the phases of the moon and spawning activity of freshwater crappies. First, what are moon phases? Well, as seen from Earth, here they are from left to right. New moon, waxing crescent, first quarter, waxing gibbous, full, waning gibbous, last quarter, waning crescent, and of course back to new moon. Now, the two you really want to pay attention to are the new moon and the full moon. They seem to have the most effect, according to biologists and experts, on fish activity. Unless you were asleep in science class, weren't paying attention, or you just don't care, the tidal surges of the oceans are caused by the gravitational pull of the moon. But not so much so when it comes to inland freshwater lakes. Let's be clear. I don't claim to be an expert on the subject, but I thought I'd share what I do know. If you're a coastal angler, you probably already know that during high tidal moon phases, large amounts of ocean water moves into estuaries, causing the movement of bait fish, which attracts fish to feed. Now, if you think about that, that makes sense. But that's not the case for inland freshwater lakes. Moon phases have very little, if any, effect on the water movement like they do on oceans. As a matter of fact, wind and weather moves more water than lunar phases do when it comes to inland waters. It's not clear why or even if the gravitational pull of the moon affects the spawning behaviors and feeding habits of crappies, but some experts agree it does. New and full moons in particular are believed to affect crappies' spawning and feeding habits. During these phases, crappies tend to feed more actively, offering increased opportunities for successful fishing. Maybe they're just hungry. Maybe crappies are following the bait fish into shallow water. But this I know. Crappies generally spawn when the lake water temperature reaches about 68 to 72 degrees. Now, where I fish in Pennsylvania, because we are further north, that will happen depending on weather patterns, moon phases, and nighttime temperatures during the first couple weeks of the month of May. If it's a clear night, a full moon does light up the shallow water, drawing bait fish into the shoreline, and where there are bait fish, you should find crappies. I started thinking about how often I use lunar tables. I use lunar tables and fishing calendars at times because they list major and minor fishing activity hours for fishing, which is useful, but it doesn't guarantee success. See, that's the thing. It doesn't guarantee success. Sometimes they are spot on, and other times they are totally inaccurate. It might tell you, for example, it's a bad day for fishing, and you fill the live well anyway. Go figure. It's not a bad idea to align your fishing trips with these lunar events, which provide practical tips for utilizing moon phase calendars to plan your fishing excursions. By understanding the role of moon phases in crappies' behaviors, anglers can better predict when crappies are most likely to be active in feeding, enhancing the chances of a bountiful catch. Hey, whether it's a full moon, new moon, or everything in between, get out there, wet a line. I don't pretend to have all the answers. Pay attention to the moon phases once in a while, maybe a little luck thrown your way, and you should catch more crappies. Until next time, I'm Mr. R, and this is the Rondinelli Project. And, yep, we gone.